Before we even get to ballers, though, like, what was that transition? I want to hear about that. Like, what was the transition from? All right, you've made your decision, and you knew that you want to do other things.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come about saying, "All right, I'm about to start"?
Man, it was like it wasn't a transition from that sense because I've been writing my whole life.
I was about to say that.
That started when
for a while.
When I was in high school. It actually started when my dog Lance Newman, he had a studio set up and used to rap and make music. He made beats and stuff, and I'd be in there with him and my dude Mark. And in that time, where it's like we used to be in the studio, used to be making raps, but I realized in that time, I just loved having a pencil and a notebook more than anything. You know what I'm saying? So like when I was leaving even high school, and my dog Mark said, he's like, "Yo, whatever you do, don't stop writing." He didn't say don't stop rapping. He said don't stop writing. So I always kept a notebook and I always kept a pencil. And so even when I was in college, when I was in the league, I was always writing prayers. I was writing raps. I was writing poems. I was writing short stories. If something like pissed me off, frustrated, I'll just go off on my notebook. Just go off about it and then be looking at it. I was like, damn, that's what I felt like. And then be cool after that. So
that's smart.
So even when I was in the league in the facility, I had my playbook, always had books on me and shit to keep just to keep myself like level-headed. So when and this goes back to growing up in the church, my mom being a youth minister, and she was like really strict about education.
Taking notes and
shit. It'd be little shit, like if things happen in the world, like when I was young, I used to ask my mom and be like, "Oh, Mom, what's this? What's that?" And she would never tell. She's like, "No, boy, look it up.
Ooh.
Look it up." You ask her something, she's like, "I'm not going to tell you the answer. Look it up." And one day I just got pissed off with her saying that. Well, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to look it up every single time. Every time I like, all right, I'm fucking grabbing books. I'm going to the library. If I ever get a question, and that's how I found out about the fight in the line now. The Steelers and the steel mill. I go really look it up, learn it, research that, and that kind of always became a part of my like personal practice. So when I stopped playing,
it wasn't no Google.
Right. No, it wasn't. It wasn't no Google at the time. You had to go find that. Yeah.
Go to
and look. No, real life.
Yeah, they go do some real research.
Get real research.
Right.
Before all of that shit. And so while I was in the NFL, in the league, and this was funny. I don't know if y'all when Twitter came out and all of that, and I got into controversy. Low key, I was like one of the first people they tried to cancel. Really low key, just because of the timing.
You've been in some controversy
with the Bin Laden shit. You remember at the time when the United States killed Bin Laden?
Yeah.
And then in the world, if people remember, there was some football player that spoke up. I caught hella heat, hella flack, and I remember looking around, looking left to right, and my like family people, they were so afraid. They was like, "Yo, what do you?" Nobody. Like, it was kind of like it hadn't happened before. I'm like, "Yo, what you like?" Cass was like really worried and shit. And so I'm saying that because as that happened on Twitter in the league, I remember that kind of shifted like my brand and all of that.
Yes.
And I remember my agent called me. He was like, "Yo, I need you to come to the agency." And this was a crazy day because I'm in Chicago. I walked down the street to the agency. And I walked in and they had like this team of people. I ain't never seen this shit. We ain't done this before.
They had a PR intervention?
They had a PR intervention. My agent called me, said he'll meet with me. And I'm like, okay. I walked in there. They had a whole table like full of people. And they was only there, okay, and they was like, "Look, man, you know what happened? You can't just," because like for a year, I was just in the cut kind of. And they was like, "You can't just sit back. You got to revamp your brand. And that's what this team is here to help you do." So they started pitching ideas. Do you want to do like this? And it was like, some like TV shit came up, some this. I'm like, no, this is some like, I don't know, some type of like business and marketing. I'm like, man, this shit is weak. It's weird. That's not me.
Right.
And then they was like, and how about this? And this shit was just like shining. How about a blog and like the Huffington Post? I'm like, wait, you mean to tell me in this office right now, I can write on the Huffington Post? They were like, yeah. I'm like, why didn't y'all just say that from this jump? Hell yeah, run that. Yeah. So then I got a blog with the Huffington Post. It's actually the link on my Twitter and shit.
Yeah.
And I got those pieces. So I started writing there.
Did you ever meet Ariana Huffington?
No, I didn't. I haven't. Yeah. But it was dope when the publication reached out to me on their 10-year anniversary, where it's like 10 years of the Huffington Post, and they reached out to professionals in each field to have them write about 10 years in their field.
Okay.
Like the 10 years of the Huffington Post, but to write about 10 years in their field, what they plan to see or anticipate to see in their respective professional field in the next 10 years.
So
so that's why I wrote the NFL in 10 years, maybe. Maybe in 10 years. That was written in 2015.
Because that shit coming up.
It was written in 2015, so that's 2025. Maybe in the future of the NFL, defenders will be able to tackle again, and they won't get in trouble for targeting. maybe like, and it was like a few different things. Like it'll be a team sport, all these different things.
We need more motherfuckers like you, bro. Yeah. Advocating for the defensive players out here, bro.
Oh, real life.
Bullshit.
And I brought up when and I forgot who, when it was DJ Swearinger in this article where it's like, wait, oh man, if there was a piece, damn, if I could like read that part of it,
hey,
I could pull it. That might be too much. I can pull it up.
Yeah, I just thought a point there that was very interesting. What you said. At any point, a team can cut or trade a player out of a contract, release, and distance themselves from a player who is undergoing scrutiny or restructure deals, handling player cuts to make cap room for other interess.
Yeah.
This within their rights.
Yeah, that's within their rights. But when a player, it's like, man, if I can't see it from back here. But when a player like
outplays his contract,
outplays his contract, or where Adrian Peterson and where it felt like what happened with him and his son, and they left him out there. And remember when he came back, he wanted to be traded.
I remember
he felt like, man, the team wasn't really with me. I want to be somewhere else. And they was like, no, you got to stay here.
Right.
So it's like, damn, at any point in time, the paragraph was like, maybe in the future of football, the business will be equally regarded on both sides. Because that's where they can cut you, trade you, to say, oh, well, you ain't earned your stuff. But if you playing out, if you got a legitimate gripe, if you saying my family don't like it here, then you don't have that same respect. You don't have that same space to make decisions for your playing career.
Right. Sure.
And in a game like football, when you have a dangerously short time to maximize on your ability and your ability to earn, to not be able to give in those decisions, it puts guys in tough spots and it affects their life, their family, their future for much longer than just this game.
Right.
So like, so how did owners get that power where the players don't in the future of football? Maybe that'll be equally regarded on both sides.
Okay.
That's big. That's big right there.
Yeah, check out that article, man.
That is big.
Check out that article.
Because it's, you see it too many times. Guys don't necessarily get the running back position itself.
And that's what that has a lot to do with.
Prime example of, they don't get what the fuck they value for. They honestly should be they're getting paid more than the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Type shit.
Just
because of, what they putting their body through for the quarterback just throwing that bitch. These motherfuckers getting hit every play.
Yeah. And the thing is, that investment in running backs, all right, if we're not gonna make that investment in you in the long haul and we know that, all right, we're gonna play him for 5 years and get somebody else, okay. If they're not gonna make that investment in the long haul, if I'm getting off right now, well, I'm not getting paid right now.
Right.
They got a guy on the third round deal, and he that dude. It's just like, okay, let me get this right now before y'all say I'm out of it.
He been going dumb. Oh shit, you gotta wait till 3.
Exactly.
You gotta wait till
we gonna use you and cut your ass.
Oh God.
When you're in the ground and turn you loose.
They said we hoping. That's probably a little stretch, but we hoping like shit. You don't really get to see that second contract, so we ain't got to pay your ass.
No, real life, yeah. So it's like if they know that business is happening, we know that business is happening. Like, where's the line where you're able to make that decision? Because you are your own commodity, and like nobody got your back like you, so you got to do something.
But I said the only decision motherfuckers really got to make that you have the utmost control over is fucking retiring, just stepping out of the game. That's the only thing you can do.
Real life.